Thank you so much, and thank you for attending. I was actually got so interested in the Socrates presentation, I forgot I was up next. Great presentation, Brian, by the way. I'm from Blue Diamond Ventures, and one of our holdings is H360 Labs out of Puerto Rico. And so you'll notice it says Cannabis and Hemp Technology Solutions. And so the reason we talk about solutions is we don't own the lab. What we do is we sell packages of IP and know-how to lab operators. So in the parlance of the SBA and the IRS and federal government, we are not a cannabis company because we don't touch the plant. But I can tell you we are very, very much a cannabis company, and many companies like ourselves are in the peripheral and ancillary businesses. So what is our solution, and what are we doing in the cannabis space? We're using the best-in-class components to deliver a solution that's customized for the regulations for hemp and cannabis testing in each state. As you probably know, each state in the United States has a completely different regulatory structure because of the lack of a federal program. And so what we've been able to do is to take a package, let's say sort of similar to a hospitality model, where you might have an owner operator of a hotel, and they may decide to go and buy into the Hilton brand, because Hilton would provide them the framework, all of the procedures, all of the design guidelines, help them acquire clients through the reservation system. So we do that. We acquire clients. Part of our business is to provide a package of IP and know-how, really including equipment, methods, standards, and everything to lab operators, so they can really focus on driving revenue, while we focus on continually providing the regular development of innovation, the improvements in the technology and the types of testing, and keep up with really the regulatory framework and what's happening across the whole country. So, if we look at really what are our advantages, our knowledge of the cannabis science and global markets is really critical. We really know this industry. We know its history. We know the products. We know how the products are used. We know who the players are. For this particular project in Missouri, we spent 2 years embedding ourselves in the market to achieve this position by writing applications, providing consultants. Our CEO, Todd Scatini, is living in Kansas City for 3 years and is serving on many boards and groups within the industry. So we really know this industry, and it's amazing how many potential lab science groups there are. We think we have one of the best science groups in the state of Missouri. Our lab director and our chemists are the top in their class, but they don't know anything about cannabis. And so what we've been able to do, again, is put together that package of intellectual property and procedures for them to buy into. So to do this, we've gotten into certain strategic partnerships. One of the most important is the Waters Corporation, which is a manufacturer, a global 70-year-old manufacturer of the gold standard of testing equipment, and also Green Orchard Labs, which is the cannabis lab license owner in Missouri that has signed the royalty agreement with us to provide them with the complete package. Also, right over the border in Kansas, we've already started our research process with K-State, and hopefully Todd Scatini, our CEO, will get a chance to speak, and you can learn a little bit about our motivation behind this, which is really to drive research for veterans. So this is what we're providing in Missouri, is really an integrated solution, complete with informatics, totally interfaced to state compliance, all the client portals, all the metric systems. Again, we've taken the best in class and applied it in Missouri. So talk a little bit about the contracts that are in place. Missouri is launching right now with 86 processors, 60 cultivators, 192 dispensaries, all coming online in what we think may be one of the best medical programs in the whole country.
You have just 30 seconds left.
Oh, in the whole procedure? No, okay, sorry. So obviously team is important. We're looking for, we're selling promissory notes at $25,000 a piece, raising $2 million. We believe that the royalties are very secure, backup for the money that we're raising. Plus, there's tax incentives available through the fact that we're based out of Puerto Rico, which was designed to meet the requirements of the DHSS. So, thank you for listening.
I think I'll make like a small exception here, and actually, never mind. I will not make an exception. But Todd, I think what we can do here is that you can answer the questions that we got from the audience. So, first question is, do you have any current and notable deal flow? Mo? I'm not quite sure what Mo stands for, but do you have any current and notable deal flow? And the second question from the same attendee is, what tax benefits do you get from being headquartered in PR? I am assuming that's the state of the name of the state.
Puerto Rico. Yeah. So I'd like to have Josh respond on the tax side. What the multiple incentives are that are available in Puerto Rico. But essentially they've made it attractive for companies to come there because they need investment. They need business. When tax incentives no longer benefited pharmaceutical industries, they kind of left Puerto Rico. What it left was this huge vacuum there. So they're trying to bring people back, and we've been in formal conversations with the Puerto Rican Department of Agriculture that invited us to headquarter there and to submit an R&D license there, so that we could help facilitate their hemp industries. And I think the previous one, and I hope that answers the question. We can certainly go into it. And I think there's some mingle time at some point during the day. I'm hoping. And I think the second question was pointing to what is the deal flow currently in Missouri, and why Missouri, right? It seems like a crazy place for cannabis and or hemp, endeavor to be taking place, when in fact it's the ideal place. I've been here for 4 years, as Josh said. I've been kind of setting the conditions, helping pass the medical marijuana program here in Missouri, and also being very heavily involved in the hemp industry in Missouri. And here we have so many processors, so many cultivators. It will be the best medical marijuana program in the United States. We have a contract signed with an organization called Green Orchard Labs, which is a licensed Missouri medical marijuana company, and for testing. And we have signed with them this contract for our know-how, IP, and technology to provide them the entire package to establish and run that laboratory. That equals to, and I don't know, Josh, if you can share your screen again or not, but
well, the only thing I would, if you can hear me, the only thing I would add to that, Todd, is that the contract with Green Orchard is one side of it. We've actually gone out into the marketplace and we've signed LOIs with the 5 largest cultivators and processors in the state. So Not only have we enabled Green Orchard to accept tests from the marketplace, we've loaded them up with more testing already contracted than we are showing as a requirement in our business plan. So we've been able to secure both sides of this, and the lab is under construction right now with an expected opening date of middle of December, to coincide with the opening of all of the licenses in Missouri.